Most gardeners never question why their seedlings fail after germination. They assume it's weak seeds, bad soil, or lack of fertilizer. But the real issue often happens before the plant even becomes a plant. Seedlings don't struggle because they lack boosters, they struggle because the early root environment is unstable, chemically aggressive, or biologically dead. That's why most commercial seedling boosters don't actually fix the problem. They push growth without building stability. The result is fast-looking seedlings that collapse the moment stress hits. Before I break down what actually works, I'll mention something I use while testing early-stage soil conditions. It's a 4-in-1 soil moisture meter that checks moisture, pH, soil temperature, and sunlight intensity right at root level. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. https://amazon.to/43opmj. In many failed seed trays I tested, the issue wasn't nutrients, it was inconsistent moisture and temperature swings that stopped proper root development. And that's where this sprout extract method becomes far more powerful than any bottled booster. The mistake behind weak seedlings: most gardeners treat germination like the finish line. But it's actually the most fragile stage of the entire plant life cycle. At this stage, roots are not ready to handle strong fertilizers or concentrated nutrients. When you apply commercial boosters too early, you often create osmotic stress in the root zone. That means water movement is disrupted, and the seedling struggles to absorb what it needs even if nutrients are present. So instead of stronger growth, you get stalled, pale, or leggy seedlings. The plant is not weak, it's overwhelmed. What sprout extract actually does differently: sprout extract is the opposite of chemical boosting. Instead of forcing growth, it signals development. When seeds are soaked and allowed to sprout slightly before being blended into a mild extract, they release natural enzymes, amino acids, and growth-stimulating compounds that support early root development. You are not feeding the plant aggressively. You are activating its own growth systems. This is the key difference most commercial products miss. How I prepare sprout extract in real gardens: I use simple grains or seeds like mung beans, lentils, or wheat. I soak them for 8 to 12 hours, then allow them to sprout until tiny root tips just begin to appear. That stage is critical. If you wait too long, the energy shifts away from growth activation and toward plant formation. Once sprouted, I blend 1 handful of sprouts with about 1 liter of clean water. Then I strain it to remove solid material. The result is a light, enzyme-rich liquid that can be used immediately on seed trays or very young seedlings. I don't store it for long periods. Fresh preparation always performs better. How to apply it without damaging seedlings: this is where most people get it wrong. Sprout extract is not fertilizer in the traditional sense. It should never be used in high concentration. For seed trays, I dilute it roughly 1 part extract to 5 parts water. Then I apply it lightly as a root zone drench once every 3 to 5 days during early development. In raised beds, I use it only around newly transplanted seedlings, not mature plants. If you over-apply it, you lose the benefit. The goal is signaling, not feeding. Why this works better than seedling boosters: most seedling boosters rely on NPK ratios, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. But seedlings at this stage are not limited by missing nutrients. They are limited by root sensitivity and microbial interaction. Sprout extract works because it enhances biological communication in the soil. It encourages microbial activity and supports root enzyme function instead of forcing chemical uptake. When I tested it side by side in identical trays, seedlings treated with sprout extract developed thicker stems, shorter internodes, and more stable root systems compared to those treated with standard boosters. They didn't just grow faster, they grew more correctly. The hidden factor most gardeners ignore: seedling success is not about speed. It's about balance. If a seedling grows too fast above ground while roots lag behind, it becomes weak and collapses later during transplant shock or heat stress. Sprout extract supports balanced growth by keeping root and shoot development synchronized. That's why it consistently outperforms synthetic boosters in real garden conditions. Where this method works best. I've tested this in multiple setups: raised beds, small backyard trays, and even hydroponic seed starting systems. It performs best in soil-based systems where microbial life is present. In sterile hydroponic setups, you have to be more careful with dilution because there's less biological buffering. In outdoor gardens, especially where soil temperature fluctuates, sprout extract helps stabilize early development when combined with proper moisture control. Using my soil meter, I've seen that consistent moisture levels combined with sprout extract produce the most reliable germination to transplant transition. What serious gardeners should understand: if your seedlings fail early, no amount of fertilizer later will fix it. You cannot correct a weak start with stronger inputs. You can only prevent the weakness at the beginning. Sprout extract works because it aligns with how plants naturally initiate growth in biological systems. It doesn't override nature, it follows it. That's why it scales better than commercial boosters in real gardening environments. If you're serious about improving your seedling success rate, subscribe to FarmLogic, because next I'll show you how to combine sprout-based activation with soil temperature control to push germination success close to 100% in real garden conditions. Strong gardens are not built with stronger chemicals, they are built with better timing, better biology, and better understanding of how growth actually begins.